Hey, it's Bria from Be Sully Coaching, y'all. I wanted to take a few minutes to talk to you about goals. As someone who's a personal development geek, I was going to say junkie, but that doesn't have a good connotation. So, as a personal development geek or nerd, I'm someone who gets super reflective and I'm constantly thinking about ways that I can improve and grow and be the best version of myself. And my self-reflection, while it happens constantly, is really heightened during certain times of the year. The first of the year, every month around the first, halfway through the year, which is where we are now. Can you believe it? And then again around Q4, so October 1st timeframe. I'm trying to figure out how I can finish strong. So in this reflection time, since we are officially in July and we have got 6 months left until the end of the year, I've been really reflecting on my goals and how I'm doing with my goals. What do I need to do differently? What do I need to course correct so that I can feel good about what I've accomplished at the end of this year? And I thought it might be helpful to record this video to share with you some really great things to think about when it comes to setting goals, and then give you a secret weapon that you can use to amp up the power behind your goal setting. So here we go. I think if you've set goals before, you've heard of this, but just for review, all of your goals that you're setting should be SMART goals. So they should be specific, they should be measurable, they should be attainable, relevant, and time-bound. But that's not what we're going to talk about today. You can Google that. What I want to tell you is that really, in order to set goals that you have a greater probability of achieving, and by the way, only 8% of people actually achieve their goals, you need to kind of have three things. First, you need to take responsibility for where you are today. You need to have a level of ownership. I, for one, have been guilty of setting the same goal for 2 years in a row. This is the second year that I have set a goal to lose 40 pounds, obviously because I did not lose it in 2018. And I made progress, but I haven't been consistent in maintaining my weight loss journey. So I got to take responsibility for that. Just because I had a setback, and I'm hypothetically speaking, just because I had a setback doesn't give me the excuse of having a glass of wine with a friend when I know how many calories wine packs on. I actually don't know, but I know it's a lot because the sugar content is pretty high. I digress. I have to take responsibility for my response. If you haven't heard this formula, write it down. It's E plus R equals O. Event plus response equals outcome. The thing that I can always control and the thing that I have to take responsibility for is my response. And I respond through my thoughts, what I think about myself and the situation. I respond with my behavior, what I actually do, or what my pattern of behavior is, and I respond by action, right? So that influences the outcome. You can always make a different choice. It's all about your response. So if you've got some goals that you've been kind of off track on, just take responsibility for where you are. Don't make excuses. Just don't, because you could have controlled the response. The next thing that I want you to do is to really check in with yourself and make sure that you know your purpose. If you're setting goals and you don't know your compelling why, you don't know your purpose, then you're really just doing like this, right? You may achieve them. I'm not saying that you won't, but it gives it a power boost when you actually know your purpose and you're able to design goals that help you to really be the best version of who you were called to be. If you're throwing darts, and I'm probably doing it wrong because I don't throw darts, it's easier to hit the bullseye if you're not blindfolded. So think of not knowing your purpose as having a blindfold on. I love to help people with their purpose. I believe that part of my purpose is to help others live how they were designed to live. And so if you ever need help with a purpose exercise or need some ideas on how to find your life purpose, just reach out to me. I'd love to help you. But yeah, to power up your goals, you got to take responsibility and ownership for where you are. You've got to understand your purpose, have clarity and purpose. And then finally, you need a clean slate so that you can focus. If you have a debt reduction goal, but you don't know how much debt you have, you refuse to open your mail because you're overwhelmed by the number of bills, you don't have a goal because you don't even know what you're shooting for. So we all have things that we've procrastinated on, things that we put off and we hesitate for whatever reason. We got to clear the slate so that you can focus on the goal at hand, focus on what you really want to achieve. And in another video, I can show you how to do that in a way that is challenging, but not overwhelming. But know that you need to clear the slate so that you can really focus on your goal. Now, the, what am I going to call it? The power boost, or the squared, that's really going to unleash your goal setting is visualization. And so I don't want you to stop the video thinking I've gone all woo-woo on you. Let me put some facts behind it. Advertising. If you're in America or in most developed countries, you know that advertising is a billion-dollar industry. Companies spend a lot of money to get you to buy their product. And the catchier something is, the more repetition that is played, the music that is used, all helps to just like imprint in your mind a product or an ad. Wendy's in the 80s, for all my 80s babies, where's the beef? I had a dog, and so begging strips. There's a commercial that I can repeat word for word. I won't do it here and embarrass myself. The E-Trade baby, oh my gosh. The milkaholic one. Okay, sorry, I told y'all I'm a bit of a geek. But you have your own commercials that you absolutely know by heart and that you remember and that you love. And that is visualization. Like, as I talked about the milkaholic E-Trade commercial, I literally saw it in my head. So if you have a goal, then visualize the achievement of your goal. Put feeling behind it. I'll just give an example. I'm launching a retreat. I am hosting my very first retreat in January of 2020 in beautiful Ruskin, Florida. And you'll hear more about that later. But one of my goals is to sell out my first retreat. So my affirmation is about how joyful I will be when I sell my first retreat, when I sell out my first retreat. And my visualization behind that, I didn't say that word for word, I have it written down. My visualization behind it is I see myself on Zoom with my co-facilitators breaking the news that we sold out on our first retreat, y'all. Like, maybe not in that voice, but you know what I mean. So I can see that. And when I wake up in the morning, before I get out of bed, I'm reading my affirmations, I'm visualizing it, I'm feeling the feeling, I'm doing the same thing at night. So actually, studies show, and Jack Canfield shares, that the time that your mind is most receptive to visualization is when you first wake up and 45 minutes before you go to sleep, like just before you drift off to sleep. Your mind has a better chance of kind of absorbing that. And your brain does not know the difference between what is real and what is not real, what is imagined. So that's why vision boards can be powerful. That's why affirmations can be powerful. And that is why this is your like extra power boost behind your goals. So if you don't have specific affirmations actually tied to the goal that you set for yourself, you might be doing yourself a disservice. Now, I believe in acting as if. You may be on the other end of this video saying, not true. What if it were? And what would it cost you to act as if it were true? Less than 5 minutes in the morning to say a visualization or say an affirmation. Less than 5 minutes at night. What if it worked? Where would you be? Food for thought. So I'm going to wrap up here. Just keep in mind, set your SMART goal. Even if you're off track with the goals that you set for yourself at the beginning of the year, take responsibility, get back on track. Make sure your goals align with your purpose and your vision for your life, and then clear the slate, get the junk out of the way so that you can focus, and then give your goals a power boost by setting affirmations that tie to your goal. And let's see where we end up at the end of the year. I'm doing this I started yesterday for a full 31 days in July, and I plan to do it for the rest of the year until I accomplish my goals. I hope you'll join me. Reach out as always if you have any questions. You can find me on social media, Be Sully Coaching. You can email me at Bria, B as in beautiful, RIA, at bsullycoaching.com. Have a beautiful day. Set your goals. Live your bliss.